The first explosion inside the Imperial Sugar Refinery in Port Wentworth, Georgia on February 7, 2008 was very bad. It launched a fireball approximately 3 stories into the air and caused numerous witnesses around the area to immediately call 911. But responding fire departments had a problem. You see, that first explosion caused the second explosion, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, and the seventh, and even the eighth. For 15 straight minutes, fireball after fireball erupted from the Georgia Sugar Refinery with 115 employees trapped inside. At around 7 p.m. on February 7, 2008, a dust cloud located in a conveyor belt system located right around here came into contact with an ignition source, likely an overheated bearing, and caused a massive dust explosion. That initial dust explosion shook more dust loose inside the sugar refinery and caused several more explosions across a 15-minute period. Those explosions were so powerful, they broke the concrete floors, trapping workers inside. They broke the sprinkler system, which allowed fires to grow unchecked, and they killed the power in the entire plant, leaving all of the workers trapped inside, plunged in darkness, because there was no emergency alert system in the building. On top of that, there was no general alarm system, and there was no fire alarm system in the building itself. Finally, the explosion stopped and firefighters were able to enter the building and start rescue operations. The people they pulled out varied in injuries from minor burns to one individual who had burns over 95% of his body. One Red Cross worker who showed up said that it was like living hell, with several men having their skin completely gone or it literally melting off of their body. It would take 7 days for the last parts of the actual building itself to be fully extinguished due to the significant amount of heat and melted sugar that was burning inside several of the silos. In the end, 14 individuals would die inside the Georgia Sugar Refinery explosion. Now, this refinery had operated for 80 years prior to the explosion with no problems. So what changed? It turns out about 6 or so months before the actual explosion itself, the conveyor belt located here that carried sugar between the silos was open, and it would allow sugar to fall off and things to fall in it and contaminate it. So they put a steel cover over the top of it, which allowed sugar dust to build up inside and reach its minimal explosible concentration, which it had been unable to do before because it was more open. In addition, dust had built up everywhere. One individual who worked in the powdered sugar department stated he had to use a squeegee to get to his workstation daily because so much dust would build up that he couldn't get there. Now, no one at Imperial Sugar was ever charged with a crime in connection with the explosion, and they were leveled an $8.8 million fine as well as 211 worker safety violations. However, after negotiations, they changed it down to $6.6 million and admitted no fault for the explosion whatsoever.